Okay, let's dive into one of the most powerful stories ever written, Ernest Hemingway's classic, The Old Man and the Sea. We're going to break down the very heart of this timeless masterpiece. This single sentence, it's everything. It is the core philosophy, the absolute central heartbeat of the entire novel. It's a powerful statement about the unbreakable nature of the human spirit. So, this incredible story was written by the one and only Ernest Hemingway back in 1952. And, the book is actually really short, but it's so powerful that it played a huge role in him winning the Nobel Prize for Literature just a couple of years later. All right, first up, a legend's last masterpiece. To really, truly appreciate this story, you've got to look at the context. This wasn't just another book for Hemingway. No, this was a defining moment in his entire career. The legacy of this book it's remarkable. See, in the early 50s, a lot of critics thought Hemingway was done, that his best days were behind him. But then, bam, this novel comes out in 1952 to massive, immediate success. Then he gets the Nobel Prize in '54. It completely revitalized his reputation. We're talking about a spectacular comeback. All right, let's get into the man himself, the unlucky, dignified fisherman. It's time to meet the unforgettable hero at the center of this whole tale, the old fisherman, Santiago. 84, just let that number sink in. For 84 straight days, Santiago has sailed out into the Gulf Stream and come back with absolutely nothing. Can you imagine? That is just an unbelievable streak of bad luck. In fact, the younger fishermen in his village, they have a word for him, Salau. And this isn't just some casual nickname. It's a label of mockery, and it means he's cursed with the absolute worst kind of bad luck. And this contrast is so key to his character. I mean, on the outside, he looks totally worn down. His skin is leathery, his hands are just covered in scars, and his patched up sail, well, Hemingway writes that it looks like the flag of permanent defeat. But inside, his spirit is completely unbroken. You can see it in his eyes. They're clear, they're bright, and they're the exact same color as the sea he loves. Okay, next section, friendship, baseball, and lions. So you might be wondering, what on earth keeps a man like this going against odds like that? Well, it comes down to three things: a loyal friend, a sports hero, and a recurring dream. First up, you've got the boy Manolin. He absolutely adores Santiago, loves him like a grandfather. And even though his parents made him switch to a luckier boat, Manolin's devotion doesn't waver for a second. Every single evening, he's there, bringing the old man food, helping with his gear. He's more than just a friend, he's Santiago's connection to humanity, his source of hope. Then there's his hero, the legendary baseball player Joe DiMaggio. Santiago looks up to DiMaggio so much, mostly because he played through incredible pain without ever giving up. To Santiago, that is the very definition of courage, and it's the model for how he believes he has to endure his own struggles. And finally, there are the lions. See, Santiago doesn't dream about storms or women anymore. The only thing he dreams about are the young lions he saw as a boy, playing on the golden beaches of Africa. This dream connects him right back to a time of pure, raw strength, freedom, and this fearless energy. So, let's talk about what happens next, beyond the horizon. With these pillars of strength holding him up, Santiago decides he can't just sit around and wait for his luck to change anymore. Nope. He has to go out and find it himself. And this quote really sums up his whole philosophy. He's not the kind of guy who just passively waits for luck to show up. He believes in preparation, in skill, in being precise, in being perfectly ready for that exact moment his opportunity finally arrives. And then comes day 85. He feels it in his bones. He truly believes this is the day. His unlucky streak is about to end, and it is time to act. So what does he do? He makes this bold, almost crazy decision. He's going to sail his tiny boat far out into the deep waters of the Gulf Stream, way farther than any of the other fishermen would ever dare to go. He is literally heading into the unknown to find his great fish and face his destiny. Okay, so that incredible journey is the heart of the novel. But its timeless appeal, why we're still talking about it today, comes from the universal themes it explores. So let's wrap up with this. Why this story endures. Why does it still resonate so deeply with people? Well, it's all about these huge ideas. Santiago's epic struggle really gets at what it means to persevere when the odds are just impossible. Hemingway shows us that there is this profound dignity in facing hardship with honor, even if you don't win. It's a story about our relationship with nature, how it can be both respectful and incredibly violent. And maybe most of all, it's about the power of hope to get us through the absolute darkest of time. And that brings us full circle, right back to where we started. Santiago's story forces you to ask yourself a really fundamental question. If your spirit stays unbroken, can you ever truly be defeated? It's a thought that really sticks with you long, long after you finish that last page.